Hi there, this is Shrikant Dasari. So in this lesson, we are going to learn about how to define member functions using arguments or parameters, okay, and how to pass the arguments or parameters from the calling area, that from main to definition which sits inside a class. Okay, so let me launch the IDE. So we know that we are using Visual Studio 2013 for Windows desktop. Okay, so already I have created a project under the name Object in Class 7. Since I hope this is the seventh lesson in our object-oriented programming series. Okay, so if you go to my channel in YouTube, okay, so if you go to playlists and you go to playlists, it's taking a moment for some reason. So this it sits here. Okay, so if you check out this, you have this object-oriented programming with C++ tutorials on various topics like defining member functions inside the class, outside the class, and various examples of defining classes for student class and employee class, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let us go back to our home page of the YouTube channel. So if you want, you can also look into this Facebook page here, which I created for my YouTube channel. So it's also regularly being updated with all the contents related to programming languages like C, C++, Java, PHP, so on and so forth. Excuse me. So let us go back to our IDE. So Visual Studio 2013 Express for Windows Desktop. So I have a plain blank .cpp file. So first let me add all the basic stuff like header files. So hash include IO stream and hash include conio.h. So all the basic stuff. I'm using namespace std. Okay, so let's add the main function. So all the basic stuff, return 0, and prior to that let's add getch here. Okay, so we have all the basic stuff now. Okay, so now here our intention is to learn about so define the various member functions inside the class, which consists of parameters, okay, or arguments. So until now we haven't dealt with we have defined the member functions, simple member functions like get data, put data, or get or set methods inside our member functions. They don't have the arguments inside them, serious arguments kind of thing. So now we are going to look into that example. So what we are going to learn is let's build an arithmetic class, arithmetic class which consists of all arithmetic operations, basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Here, okay. So let's define a class here by using the class keyword. Class, let me say arithmetic, the name of the class here. So big name, arithmetic. Okay, so we have a class block here. So inside that, let's define our members, data members, which are going to be like this. Let's have 4 different data members, one for sum and other for to holding the subtraction, let's say difference, diff. Okay, and the third one, let's say product. Okay, and the fourth one, let's say float, since the float needed to be in division. So let's say division. Okay, so float div. Okay, or let's say a reminder, or let it be a div, and let's have one more thing. Let's say int rem here to hold the reminder here. Okay, excuse me. So here we have 5 different private data members to hold all the results, particular results of that particular operation here. Okay, so here what we are going to do is we are not having exclusively the variables which hold the data. Okay, so also we can do that, but here our intention is to build a class having the parameters coming from the calling area here. Okay, so that's the reason I haven't taken the variables to hold the data members. So public. So in the public method, in the public section, let's define 4 different methods. Let's say add. So add consists of typically two arguments here, which are going to be int a and int b. So we are going to pass those arguments down from the calling area and the main. In the same way, we are having a So another method to do the another member function to do the subtraction here. So let's say int a and int b for subtraction, and let's take another method definition. Let's take it as product. Let's say mul. Okay, to keep it as simple as possible, I'm saying mul here. So int a and int b. Okay, so let's take another method. So we are keeping on adding the methods here because we have 5 different private data members to hold the results of all 5 different operations here. Okay, so other one going to be like let's say division or divide or quotient. Let's say quotient, or let's say divide, or let's keep it as division. Okay, so whatever you wanted, you can name your methods. So division. Another method is going to be reminder, to hold the reminder, to calculate the reminder. Let's say excuse me, let's say it as reminder only, int a comma int b here. Okay, so here we have taken 5 different data members, and we have defined 5 different methods individually. So first each one holds each one does particular operation, like the add method does the addition operation here. Okay, so okay, we have just defined a blank definition, so we haven't written any code inside that. So next what we are going to do is we need to write some code inside that. Let's say sum is equal to the basic arithmetic operation using the addition operator. It's going to be a plus b. Let's see out the sum here. Okay, the sum is equal to keep it simple, let's say sum is equal to sum here. Okay, so in the same way, let's take let's do the for the remaining operations also, subtraction is equal to a minus b. Okay, sub is equal to a minus b, or else we have taken it as diff, if I remember, as diff is equal to a minus b, and let's say see out the difference is equal to diff here. Okay, so in the same way, let's do one more thing here. Let's keep on adding the operations here. Next, it's going to be multiplication. So we have taken the variable to hold the operation, the result of the operations as prod. That's what I have taken here. Prod is equal to a asterisk b. Okay, so let's see out the product here. The product is equal to let's say prod here. Okay, so in the same way, the next operation is division. We have taken the name of the variable as div is equal to a by b. Okay, so in the same way, can see out the result by saying that the quotient is equal to div. Okay, in the same way, you have another member function which does the operation for reminder. So we have taken the name of the variable as reminder here. So a percent b. Okay, so a percent b. So let's say see out the reminder is equal to reminder, let's say after the division. So all these messages are just for understanding purpose here. Okay, so reminder of the division is going to be rem. Okay, so we have taken 5 different data members, and we have defined quickly 5 different member functions. Now what we are going to do is we need to create a variable for our class arithmetic here. So Visual Studio is smart enough that it automatically prompting the name of the class as soon as I type the name letter A in capital letter A. Okay, so let's say A1. Okay, so here so A1 dot let's say you can call the methods individually. So first we need to call the method add here. Okay, so let's pass the variables like 10 and 20 here. Okay, so if you want, you can say A1 dot keep on calling all the methods here, like division, multiplication, difference, or sub, and so on and so forth. 20 and 30. Okay, so 20 and 30. So in the same way, you can call all the methods. So first let us do it with addition here. So let's see whether it works or not. So before that, let's also take another cout statement just to display the values here. Okay, so let's take another method to display the values. So first let us call that. That's not a good practice to take another method. Or else let's do it right here. Or else let's put it inside the main method only. Okay, so let's say cout. So a is equal to a, and b is equal to okay. So I'm just outputting the values here. Okay, so a and b. So also, although it's not a good practice to do something like this, if you run the program until now, what happens to see what happens. It's taking a moment since we have defined quite a lot of methods here. Yes, everything went well and we have obtained the result. I am just increasing the font size a bit and also changing the color of text to white and background to black. So background to white and text to black, such that it's more viewable as far as I hope here. Okay, so we have a is equal 10 and b is equal 20 and the sum is 30. It's very ugly, so that's not the case here. We need to be more specific here. Okay, so let's remove this one here and let's add one more thing. Let's say let's do one more thing. Let's add get and set methods here. Okay, so let's say let's add get and set methods. Let's say since we have learned about since we have learned about the get and set methods in the last lesson here, so what we are going to do is let's put void set. Okay, and let's take itself here only. Let's not the set method here. That's not the correct solution. So let's say the sum of cascading operator, the sum of a. So let's do it something like this, different here. The sum of a and b is equal to okay. So run the program. So you get sum of 10 and 20 is equal to 30. Okay. So that now if you observe the program, now what we have done until so far, we have taken 5 different data members here. So 5 different data members, and we have taken we have defined 5 different methods here. For each method does the particular operation. The first method add calculates the sum of 2 different variables or the 2 different values we have passed to this member function in the form of arguments here. Okay. So we have just calculated the sum using this arithmetic operator. So now what I am going to do is, so I am just copying the whole thing and pasting it all in all the methods once again. Okay, later we can change them accordingly. Okay, so what I am going to do now is so some it's going to be difference. So difference. Okay, so it's going to be difference of a and b. Now we need to change the variable also here. Let's say so diff here. Okay, so in the same way, so next is going to be the product. So these messages, all these messages are just for understanding purpose, or else we get confused of what we are going. The result, by seeing the result, when you produce your result to your user or a programmer, he need to be very specific of what with the messages, so what is going or what his intention is going to be. The quotient of let's say quotient. Okay, so p and p is equal to diff. Okay, just change the variable and also the reminder. Let's change the message here. Okay, the reminder. So after Fusion, let's have some stupid silly message continued, and let's say rem here. Okay, yes. So now if you run your application, your output should be specific, deriving all the applications here. Okay, so so we haven't got all those things because we have just called only a one method here, since we have taken a variable for our class and we have just called one method. So what we are going to do is let's keep on calling all the methods with different variables. Okay, the subtraction, let's take 30 and let's take 15 and 30. Okay, so let's call the other method also. So a1 dot, so multiplication, let's take another good number, 100 and 100. So whatever you wanted, a huge result, to obtain a huge result. So a1 dot division, to obtain the quotient. Let's take a smaller numbers like 10 and 20. 10 times 2, okay, 10 times 2 is equal to okay. So in the same way, let's take a1 dot reminder, the last but not the least, 10 comma, or let's take again 200 comma 100. Okay, so whatever it might be. Okay, so we have taken all we have called all the different methods here. Okay, so we have called all the different methods using various values. We have just passing these are the key thing here. These are the arguments which we are passing from here, from the calling function to the definition section here. Okay, so what happens here is this 10 and 20 jump right back from there, and when it enters to the definition area, it sits in this a and b variables, and thus we are computing the operation using the operators, arithmetic operator, and just we are evaluating or producing some result, and that result we are outputting using the CO statement. If you run the program until now, oh, it's got messed up. Okay, it's my mistake. I haven't used the CO statement here. Okay, sorry, slash and slash t's. It's very ugly. Let's keep it all the formatting strings, formatting characters like slash and slash t's, or else it looks ugly. We can't understand what's happening. So at least a slash and a single slash is required, or else we can't understand what's happening inside the program. Okay. Okay. The last but not the least is the reminder. Okay. So if you run the program, so you get all the results of all your operations here. Okay. So the sum of 10 and 20 is going to be 30. So that's what we have passed in the form of argument. And in the same way, we have taken the difference between 50 and 30 is going to be 20. The product of both the hundreds is going to be 10,000, and the quotient of 20 and 10 is going to be 2. That's what we will obtain. And the remainder of dividing the 200 by 100 is equal to 0. Okay. So all the arithmetic operations are very basic. That doesn't matter to us. Okay. So our real intention is to learn how the mechanism is being worked out here. Okay. So here, so if you summarize once again, so here we have defined. Let's put it the description in the form of comments here. Okay. So an example, a class example, an example class with number functions, and arguments. Let's write it like this, with arguments in number functions. Okay. So here we have taken data members. So 5 different data members we have taken out of the private section. So, okay. So data members. I'm writing everything in the form of comments, descripting the code here. The data members in the private section of the class. So data members in the private section of the class to hold the result of the operation. To hold the result of the operations here. Okay. Excuse me. So and then we have defined 5 different methods. Okay. The member function. The member function definition. So member function definition, in the public section of the class, to operate on the data, which operate on the data here. Okay, so here we have 5 different member functions. With each member function has arguments or parameters. Okay, so actual parameters in the form of parameters. Okay, so here in the when we have defined 5 different methods, so each and every individual method carries the operation. So let's add a comment here. Okay, so member function. So member function definition inside the class. Let's add a comment inside the class, since we have defined the member function inside the class to carry addition operation here. Okay, so the sole purpose of this member function is to operate on the data or the values which were being passed from the main function in the form of arguments to hold that data and perform the arithmetic operation. Okay, and perform the arithmetic operation and just output the result in the form of using the CO statement here. Okay, so in the same way, all the subsequent methods holds the data which were coming from the main function and calculates the particular arithmetic operation and stores the result in our data members like difference, sum, product, and diff. And using the CO statement, we are just outputting the data here. Okay, so here in the main coming to let's write a comment here, creating an object to arithmetic class. Let's write it arithmetic. So creating an object to arithmetic class and accessing. So in the next statement, we are accessing all the methods. Let's write the comment accessing. So all the member functions. So accessing all the member functions. Okay. So using the object. Okay, so if you observe here, in all our member functions, when we are calling all the member functions, we are passing the parameters. Okay, we are passing the parameters from the calling area to the definition here. Okay, so as soon as you call this subtraction method, both the values of 50 and 30 goes back to our A and B in the arguments which were defined inside the member function definition. That sits in the 50 sits in A, and 30 sits in B. And then it performs the operation, difference operation, and just stores the output in the form of, or displays the output to the screen using the CO statement here. Okay, so this is the basic stuff about defining member functions with arguments and passing the arguments from passing mechanism from the calling area to the definitions. Okay, member function definition so sits inside the class. Okay, so see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.